Right guys, it's question time. We asked you to send us in some questions on socials, so yeah, we're going to be asking each other, and let's get into it. So Richie, year to the day self-assessment on your season so far.
A little bit behind expectations, hoping to make a good step up from now onwards. So yeah, it's been a bit of a learning curve, been out of it for a few years, so wanted to have had at least a podium by now, which we haven't got, so I'll be hoping to get one in Darwin. Matt, what other types of car racing do you want to try besides supercars?
That's a tough question. Probably, I quite like IndyCar, it's pretty cool. NASCAR, I'm quite a fan of. And endurance racing for sure. Oh, endurance racing is probably one of my top ones, especially like something like Le Mans or something, and a hypercar would be really cool. But yeah, anything in America, the racing's pretty cool as well, so I'd definitely like to try that. If supercars were to do a second NZ round, which track would be your pick?
I'd probably go with Highlands. I think it's one of our better tracks, and yeah, I think it would be nice to get everyone down to the South Island. Queenstown's such an awesome place to hang out, very picturesque, so I think it would be awesome if we were to race down there.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
What rounds would you add or take away for next year if there was no limit? That's actually a really good question. It's hard to say because you could do, the championship used to do sort of 16, 18 rounds. There's a lot of tracks we don't really go to anymore. Probably Newcastle and the Bend for me. I really like both those tracks. The Bend especially, I love that track. It's very flowing. So
I think it would be good for Winton and QR to be back on the calendar because they're the test tracks for both of the teams. So yeah, it's a little tough when we test at Winton all year long and we don't really get to utilise that at least one round. And I guess same for the QR teams. What would you both do if you weren't involved in motorsport?
That's a good question. I actually get questioned that quite a lot. From my side, it would probably be something quite boring, I reckon I'd say. I quite like history and archaeology and things like that, so probably have something to do in that sort of area. So what about yourself?
I would love to be a professional cyclist. I don't have the talent for that, unfortunately, but yeah, in a dream world, if I had the talent for it, I think that would be a very cool profession.
Yeah, I reckon I'd actually probably change mine. I reckon I'd like to be like a downhill mountain biker or something like that. I love mountain biking, but I'm always way too scared to do the jumps and actually do the proper stuff. So need some training on that. But yeah,
you went from being wanting to be Indiana Jones
to mountain bike. Yeah, I know. See, that's what I mean. It could be anything.
For the both of you, do you still play car racing video games or does it now feel like work?
No, I don't think games will ever feel like, racing games ever feel like work for me. I play a lot of iRacing on the sim, and I've got a pretty serious simulator at my home. So yeah, I do that, play with all my mates, race against Richie sometimes. He always takes me out, but it's it's a bit of fun when we're doing that. We just sort of get on there and pick a random combo. It could be anything, could be something in America, something in Europe. But yeah, it's generally pretty, we generally race the slower cars, like the MX-5s and stuff like that is where the fun's at.
Yeah, and arguably if we did sit on it all day, treating it like a job to get the I rating super high, it wouldn't actually be that helpful for us because, yeah, when we go racing in real life, we can't go out and do 50 attempts at a qualifying time. We get one or two goes at it, and then we just got to do it. Thank you guys for sending in your questions. We really enjoyed answering them. Make sure you keep sending them in and follow us on socials.